If you're over 60, every decision you make, what you eat, how you sleep, and how you move, directly affects your heart. But what if I told you there's one daily habit silently damaging your heart every single day? As a heart surgeon, I've seen far too many women over 60 walk into my clinic feeling perfectly normal and walk out diagnosed with high blood pressure, clogged arteries, or worse, on the edge of a heart attack. Most women don't even realize they're doing something dangerous. It's not just about eating junk food or skipping exercise, it's about one simple thing they repeat every day without thinking that slowly pushes their cardiovascular system toward complete failure. In this video, I'm begging women over 60 to stop this one habit. And not just that, I'll also expose the 10 most dangerous habits hurting your heart right now. Each one increases your risk of heart failure, stroke, or sudden cardiac death. But the good news is, they're all completely fixable. Watch this till the very end. Habit number 1 is the most important and most common one I see in my patients almost every day. But first, hit that subscribe button for EverWise older women and ring that notification bell. Your heart will thank you. Let's begin with number 10. 10. Dismissing heart symptoms as just getting older. If you're over 60 and telling yourself that chest tightness or unusual fatigue is normal aging, you're inviting a heart attack. One of the biggest mistakes I see as a heart surgeon is women over 60 brushing off symptoms. You may think, I'm just tired or it's probably nothing. But I'm not asking you to become a hypochondriac. I'm begging you to just listen to your body. Recognizing early warning signs can cut your risk of major cardiac events by almost 70%. When you ignore chest pressure, shortness of breath, or back pain, your heart is literally crying for help. Your arteries may be narrowing. Your heart muscle may be struggling. Over time, this can lead to heart failure, massive stroke, or even sudden death. As a heart surgeon, I've seen patients come in saying, I just felt a little off for weeks. By then, they needed emergency surgery. What breaks my heart is that early intervention could have prevented everything. Tracking your symptoms is free, it requires no medical training, and it's one of the most powerful tools for your heart health. Just writing down when you feel pressure, fatigue, or discomfort is enough to spot patterns and save your life. Please don't wait for a full-blown heart attack to take symptoms seriously. Prevention starts now. Your heart will thank you for every warning sign you take seriously. 9. Carrying everyone else's emotional burdens without protecting your own heart. If you're over 60 and you're still the family's emotional support system, you're literally stressing your heart to death. How many of you feel like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders? I see those knowing looks. One of the biggest mistakes I see as a heart surgeon is women becoming emotional dumping grounds for everyone. Adult children's problems, grandchildren's issues, friends' dramas. You may think being the strong one is your job, but I'm not asking you to stop caring. I'm begging you to just set boundaries. Chronic emotional stress can increase your heart attack risk by up to 40%. When you absorb other people's stress, your cortisol levels spike constantly. Your blood pressure rises, your arteries inflame, your heart rate becomes irregular. Over time, this can lead to broken heart syndrome, arrhythmias, or even sudden cardiac arrest. As a heart surgeon, I've operated on women whose hearts were literally damaged by chronic stress. I had one patient, Margaret, who collapsed after a family crisis call. Her heart showed inflammation patterns I typically see in trauma victims, all because she couldn't say no to emotional demands. Emotional boundaries are free, they require no special skills, and they're one of the most powerful medicines for your cardiovascular system. Just learning to say I love you but I can't carry this right now is enough to lower your blood pressure and protect your heart rhythm. Please don't wait for chest pains to start protecting your emotional energy. Prevention starts now. Your heart will thank you for every boundary you set. 8. Using food to numb difficult emotions instead of processing them. If you're over 60 and reaching for ice cream when you're upset, you're creating a vicious cycle that's devastating to your heart. I bet some of you are thinking about that pint of ice cream in your freezer right now. One of the biggest mistakes I see as a heart surgeon is women eating their feelings, especially late at night. You may think you deserve these treats after a hard day, but I'm not asking you to never enjoy food. I'm begging you to just recognize when you're feeding emotions, not hunger. Emotional eating can increase cardiovascular disease risk by up to 60%. When you eat high-sugar, high-fat foods during emotional stress, your blood sugar spikes while your stress hormones are already elevated. This creates inflammation in your arteries, increases belly fat around your heart, and disrupts your sleep patterns. Over time, this can lead to diabetes, heart disease, or even metabolic syndrome. As a heart surgeon, I've treated patients whose hearts were clogged not just from genetics but from years of stress eating. I remember one patient who gained 40 pounds during her husband's illness, all from nighttime emotional eating. Her arteries were 80% blocked when she finally came to me. Emotional awareness is free, it requires no special equipment, and it's one of the most powerful tools for your heart health. Just pausing to ask, am I hungry or am I hurting, is enough to break the cycle and start healing your relationship with food and stress. Please don't wait for diabetes or heart disease to address emotional eating. Prevention starts now. Your heart will thank you for every feeling you honor without food. 7. Sacrificing sleep because you feel guilty resting. If you're over 60 and staying up late to be productive, you're literally working your heart to death. Raise your hand if you've ever felt guilty about going to bed when there's still laundry to fold. One of the biggest mistakes I see as a heart surgeon is women over 60 treating sleep like it's optional. You may think sleeping 6 hours shows how dedicated you are, but I'm not asking you to be lazy. I'm begging you to just prioritize the time when your heart heals itself. Quality sleep can reduce your heart attack risk by up to 22%. When you sleep less than 7 hours, your blood pressure stays elevated, your stress hormones remain high, and your heart never gets to rest and repair. Your arteries become stiffer, your heart rhythm becomes irregular, and inflammation builds up in your cardiovascular system. Over time, this can lead to hypertension, atrial fibrillation, or even heart failure. As a heart surgeon, I always ask patients about their sleep. I've seen too many women whose hearts were exhausted from chronic sleep deprivation. One patient's heart was working so hard from sleep debt that she needed a pacemaker at 65. Her only risk factor was years of 4-5-hour nights. Prioritizing sleep is free, it requires no special training, and it's one of the most powerful medicines for your cardiovascular system. Just creating a bedtime routine and aiming for 7-8 hours is enough to lower your resting heart rate and blood pressure significantly. Please don't wait for heart palpitations to start taking sleep seriously. Prevention starts now. Your heart will thank you for every hour of restorative rest. If you're feeling overwhelmed by all these heart health habits, don't worry, you're not alone. Many women over 60 face the same struggle, especially when trying to balance health goals with daily responsibilities. That's why we created the EverWise Heart Health Tracker, a simple app made just for women over 60. It offers gentle daily reminders for your medications, tracks your symptoms so you can spot patterns, and suggests heart-healthy meal ideas tailored to your age and health needs. Whether you're managing high blood pressure or just want more energy to enjoy your grandchildren, this app acts like a doctor-approved guide in your pocket. The best part, it sends encouraging messages designed specifically for women our age. No complicated medical jargon, just supportive guidance from someone who understands your journey. Download it today and start protecting your heart with confidence. Now, let's continue with the habits that could save your life. 6. Taking multiple medications without understanding how they affect your heart. If you're over 60 and on several prescriptions, you might be unknowingly creating a perfect storm for cardiac problems. How many of you have a pill organizer that looks like a small pharmacy? I see those guilty smiles. One of the biggest mistakes I see as a heart surgeon is women over 60 taking medications without understanding drug interactions or side effects. You may think if your doctor prescribed it, it's automatically safe in combination. But I'm not asking you to stop taking necessary medications. I'm begging you to just become an informed advocate for your own heart health. Medication awareness can reduce adverse cardiac events by up to 35%. When you take blood pressure medications with certain pain relievers, or mix diabetes drugs with some supplements, you can create dangerous heart rhythm problems. Your blood pressure might drop too low, your heart rate might become irregular, or your blood might become too thin or too thick. Over time, this can lead to dangerous arrhythmias, internal bleeding, or even cardiac arrest. As a heart surgeon, I've treated patients whose heart problems were caused by drug interactions their primary doctors missed. I had one patient on 8 different medications who developed severe heart rhythm problems. When we reviewed everything together, we found 3 dangerous interactions that were literally causing her heart to skip beats. Medication tracking is free, it requires no medical degree, and it's one of the most powerful tools for your heart safety. Just keeping a current list of all medications and supplements and asking your pharmacist to check for interactions is enough to prevent dangerous cardiac complications. Please don't wait for a medical emergency to understand your medications. Prevention starts now. Your heart will thank you for every drug interaction you prevent. 5. Withdrawing from social connections and community. If you're over 60 and spending most days alone, you're putting your heart at serious risk in ways you never imagined. I know what you're thinking. How could loneliness hurt my heart? Let me explain. One of the biggest mistakes I see as a heart surgeon is women over 60 isolating themselves, thinking they're being independent or not wanting to burden anyone. You may think staying home alone is peaceful, but I'm not asking you to become a social butterfly. I'm begging you to just maintain meaningful human connections. Social connection can reduce heart disease risk by up to 50%. When you're socially isolated, your stress hormones stay elevated, your blood pressure increases, and chronic inflammation damages your arteries. Loneliness triggers the same stress response as physical danger, keeping your heart in constant fight or flight mode. Over time, this can lead to coronary artery disease, heart attacks, or even premature death. As a heart surgeon, I've noticed that patients with strong social support heal faster and have fewer complications. I've also seen the opposite medical myths. Women who live alone and rarely interact with others often develop heart problems earlier and more severely. Social isolation is literally as dangerous as smoking for your cardiovascular health. Building connections is free, it requires no special skills, and it's one of the most powerful medicines for your heart health. Just joining one community group, calling one friend weekly, or volunteering for one cause is enough to lower your blood pressure and boost your heart's resilience. Please don't wait for a health crisis to reach out to others. Prevention starts now. Your heart will thank you for every meaningful connection you nurture. 4. Dismissing high blood pressure as not that serious because you feel fine. If you're over 60 and your blood pressure is creeping up but you're not taking it seriously, you're playing Russian roulette with your heart. Raise your hand if you've ever thought, my blood pressure is only a little high, I feel fine. This one's for you. One of the biggest mistakes I see as a heart surgeon is women over 60 treating high blood pressure like it's just a number on a chart. You may think because you don't feel sick, it's not urgent. You might even stop taking medications because you feel normal. But I'm not asking you to become obsessed with numbers. I'm begging you to just understand that high blood pressure is literally called the silent killer for a reason. Controlling blood pressure can reduce your heart attack risk by up to 60%. When your blood pressure stays elevated, it forces your heart to work harder every single beat. This thickens your heart muscle abnormally, damages your arteries from the inside, and creates the perfect conditions for blood clots. Your kidneys start failing, your brain starts suffering mini strokes, and your heart gradually weakens. Over time, this leads to heart failure, massive strokes, or sudden cardiac death, often without any warning symptoms. As a heart surgeon, I operate on women every week whose hearts are destroyed by untreated high blood pressure. I remember one patient, Linda, who felt perfectly healthy but had ignored her slightly high blood pressure for years. By the time she came to me, her heart was so damaged, she needed a complete bypass. She said, "Doctor, I had no idea something I couldn't feel was killing me." Blood pressure monitoring is affordable, it requires no medical training, and it's one of the most powerful tools for preventing heart disease. Just checking your pressure weekly at home, taking medications consistently, and working with your doctor to keep it under 130/80 is enough to prevent most heart attacks and strokes. Please don't wait for a heart attack to take blood pressure seriously. Prevention starts now. Your heart will thank you for every day you keep your pressure in a healthy range. 3. Consuming dangerous amounts of hidden sodium without realizing it. If you're over 60 and eating processed foods regular, you're literally poisoning your cardiovascular system one meal at a time. I bet some of you are thinking, but I don't even use the salt shaker. That's exactly the problem. One of the biggest mistakes I see as a heart surgeon is women over 60 focusing on the salt shaker while ignoring the hidden sodium in everything else. You may think you're eating healthy because you're not adding salt to your food. But that frozen meal, that canned soup, that restaurant salad, they're loaded with sodium. I'm not asking you to never eat anything convenient. I'm begging you to just become aware of hidden sodium sources. Reducing sodium intake can lower blood pressure by up to 11 points and reduce heart disease risk by 30%. When you consume too much sodium, your body retains fluid to dilute it, increasing your blood volume and forcing your heart to pump harder. This elevated pressure damages the delicate lining of your arteries, creates inflammation, and makes blood clots more likely. Your kidneys start struggling, your heart muscle thickens abnormally, and your risk of stroke multiplies. Over time, this leads to heart failure, kidney disease, or devastating strokes. As a heart surgeon, I've seen hearts destroyed by sodium overload. One patient came to me with severe heart failure, and when we tracked her diet, she was eating over 4,000 milligrams of sodium daily, mostly from foods she thought were healthy. Her morning bagel with cream cheese had 800 milligrams, her lunch salad from a restaurant had 1,200 milligrams, and her Heart Healthy's frozen dinner had another 900 milligrams. Reading nutrition labels is free, it requires no special knowledge, and it's one of the most powerful tools for heart protection. Just aiming for less than 1,500 milligrams of sodium per day, choosing fresh foods over processed, and cooking at home more often is enough to dramatically reduce your blood pressure and heart disease risk. Please don't wait for heart failure to start reading labels. Prevention starts now. Your heart will thank you for every low sodium choice you make. 2. Living a sedentary lifestyle that's slowly killing your cardiovascular. If you're over 60 and sitting for more than 6 hours a day, you're dramatically increasing your risk of heart disease, even if you exercise sometimes. How many of you are sitting right now watching this video? Don't worry, I won't make you stand up yet. One of the biggest mistakes I see as a heart surgeon is women over 60 thinking that a 30-minute walk cancels out 10 hours of sitting. You may think that because you went to the gym this morning, you can sit all afternoon and evening. But prolonged sitting affects your cardiovascular system independently of exercise. I'm not asking you to become a fitness fanatic. I'm begging you to just break up long periods of sitting throughout your day. Breaking up sitting time can reduce cardiovascular disease risk by up to 40%. When you sit for hours, your blood flow slows dramatically, especially in your legs. This increases your risk of blood clots that can travel to your heart or brain. Your blood sugar rises and stays elevated longer. Your blood pressure increases, and your arteries become stiffer. Your heart has to work harder to pump blood through sluggish circulation. Over time, this leads to deep vein thrombosis, pulmonary embolism, heart attacks, or strokes. As a heart surgeon, I've operated on patients whose blood clots formed simply from sitting too long. I had one patient who developed a massive pulmonary embolism after a day of binge-watching TV. The clot that formed in her leg traveled to her lungs and nearly killed her. She said, "Doctor, I was just relaxing at home. I had no idea sitting could be dangerous." Movement breaks are free, they require no equipment, and they're one of the most powerful medicines for your circulation. Just standing and moving for 2 to 3 minutes every hour, taking phone calls while walking, or doing simple stretches while watching TV is enough to keep your blood flowing and your heart healthy. Please don't wait for blood clots or circulation problems to start moving more. Prevention starts now. Your heart will thank you for every movement break you take. 1. And here's the most dangerous habit I see: dismissing chest pain, pressure, or discomfort as probably nothing. If you're over 60 and you felt any chest symptoms but haven't sought immediate medical attention, you could be ignoring a heart attack in progress. I know what you're thinking, but it wasn't that bad, or I didn't want to bother anyone. Ladies, this thinking is literally killing women every day. The biggest mistake I see as a heart surgeon is women over 60 talking themselves out of seeking help for chest symptoms. You may think heart attacks look like the movies, a man clutching his chest dramatically. But women's symptoms are different and often subtle. You might feel pressure, heaviness, burning, or pain in your chest, back, jaw, or arms. You might feel nauseous, dizzy, or just wrong. But because it's not the Hollywood version, you dismiss it. I'm not asking you to rush to the ER for every ache. I'm begging you to just take chest symptoms seriously. Seeking immediate treatment for heart attack symptoms can reduce death risk by up to 90%. When you have a heart attack, every minute counts. Your heart muscle is dying from lack of oxygen, and the longer you wait, the more permanent damage occurs. Women often wait twice as long as men to seek help, and this delay is literally deadly. The first hour after symptoms start is called the golden hours, because that's when treatment is most effective. After 6 hours, much of the damage becomes irreversible. Your heart muscle turns to scar tissue, your pumping function deteriorates, and your risk of sudden death increases dramatically. As a heart surgeon, I've operated on too many women who waited hours or even days to seek help. I remember one patient, Carol, who felt chest pressure and nausea for 3 days, but kept making excuses. I thought it was stress. I didn't want to worry my family. I thought it would go away. By the time she came to the hospital, so much of her heart muscle had died that she needed emergency surgery and will never have normal heart function again. She looks at me and says, "Doctor, I wish I had called 911 on day 1. Recognizing symptoms is free, calling for help requires no special training, and it's literally the most life-saving action you can take." Just knowing that women's heart attack symptoms can be subtle, trusting your instincts when something feels wrong, and calling 911 immediately for any chest symptoms is enough to save your life. Don't drive yourself, don't wait to see if it gets better. Don't worry about being embarrassed if it's nothing. Please don't wait until you're unconscious to take chest symptoms seriously. When it comes to heart attacks, there are no do-overs. Your heart will thank you for every second you save by seeking immediate help. Your heart has been beating for you every second of your life, without asking for anything in return. But after 60, it needs your support more than ever. Every habit you change now, every healthy choice you make, every symptom you take seriously. It all adds up to more years with your family, more moments with your grandchildren, more time to enjoy the life you've worked so hard to build. As a heart surgeon, I've seen too many women ignore small signs, dismiss subtle symptoms, until it's too late. But you have the chance to change that story. You have the power to protect the heart that's been protecting you. Start by addressing just one dangerous habit from this list today. Then slowly work your way through the rest. Your heart doesn't need perfection. It needs consistency, care, and your attention.
Right.
Small changes compound into life-saving results. If this video helped you, please like it and subscribe to EverWise Older Women for more life-saving health advice. In the comments, tell me which habit surprised you the most. I read every single comment, and your stories help other women realize they're not alone. My fellow ladies, make sure you prioritize your heart health, because you deserve every beautiful thing life has to offer. Your future self will thank you, your family will thank you, and most importantly, your heart will thank you, because it's never too late to start healing. Take care of yourself, sweetheart. Stay safe, stay strong, and give your heart the love and attention it's been giving you your entire life.